And now, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 83 kilograms, holding a record of 5 wins and 3 defeats. He trains out of the Fight Centre, Brisbane. Put your hands together for the usurper, Darcy Vendy! And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He is a 2-time former Eternal middleweight champion, weighing in at 84.1 kilograms, holding a record of 8 wins and 4 defeats. He trains out of Team Compton and Vice Training Centre. Put your hands together for John Martin Fraser!
John, gentlemen, I've been here before. You know my expectations. Listen to my commands at all times. Obey my instructions. Hook them up, gentlemen. It's for the belt. Good luck to you both.
They will touch gloves, much to the contrary beliefs of most of us. These guys are true professionals. It's the former 2-time champ, John Fraser, in pursuit of his 3rd title reign against the usurper, Darcy Vendy. Round 1 of our main event here at Eternal 91, brought to you by Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey.
Such an intriguing matchup. Look, Vendy's game really relies on pressure and being physical. No one's really been able to do that to John Martin Fraser and back him up as he looks to take the center of the cage.
Well, this is, again, the storyline between these two. They don't like each other. Back and forth they went on social media. And for John Fraser, he didn't take too kindly to some of the things that Darcy said. And on the other side at TFC, the feeling was mutual. They finally get to settle business here tonight.
And chest to chest now, after some stiff punches exchanged. No damage done yet. It's Vendy right on the edge of the cage, very high, with his hips flat, reverses the position. He might fancy himself in the grapple here this evening. John Martin Fraser, of course, an absolute knockout artist. That shifting hook of his, we've seen it time and time again, put so many to sleep. Brogan Anderson, that knockout happened right in front of us here at the commentary booth. Picturesque stuff, and here goes Vendy trying to make himself known in this fight early. Hands locked underneath and around the waist of Martin Fraser. Chips away with a knee, trying to stay busy.
Well, you talk about some of the guys that these guys have dispatched. You make mention of Alfred Stoddart, Brogan Anderson, Matt Myers. On one occasion, John was victorious over.
Well, it was actually at the double header.
Yes, it was.
The Eternal 69, the double header.
2 years ago.
With the comeback, and we know that Matt Myers and others are waiting in the wings. The middleweight division heating up, and we saw big Cam Ralston earlier get the win over the previously undefeated Blair Brettag. So
plenty of contenders at middleweight, not just in the pros, but also the amateurs. We'll see Christian Lapham and Emil Jerry's take centre cage in Sydney. And speaking of amateurs, soon to be pros, Kai Kirby is one of Darcy's training partners on occasion. Look forward to seeing him make an impact in the pro ranks at some stage in the very near future. The killer Kai Kirby coming to an Eternal near you.
2025 will bode big things for the middleweight division, but right now we're trying to sort out who will be the king. It's vacant at the moment, hanging up, ready for someone to grab it. Of course, it's the coach and mentor, teammate of Darcy Vendy, Ben Johnson, who vacated, a former foe of Martin Fraser. Martin Fraser makes some big changes since, gone out to Compton's gym. He's starting his own gym to come later this year, the Oasis and Sunshine Coast. Make sure you get down and check that. Will they have a championship bout in the trophy cabinet? We will see. Some dirty boxing from Vendy gets the crowd going.
And he can't sit there, can John Fraser. Ben Vickers, you and I have had the pleasure of commentating these guys over the years. Good to see them inside mixing things up.
Yeah, absolutely, and Darcy will be really pleased with his start. You know, he's managed to get his feet into the fight. He's had some good pressure and landed some good damaging shots against the cage against John. Wasn't able to get the takedown, which I'm sure he wants, but a promising start for Darcy.
A big elbow landed on the inside for Fraser, the former champ, trying to dictate things at his own pace here, Matt.
the longer this goes up against the fence, those big muscles of Vendy, they're going to start to wear out. It's one thing to carry all that muscle into a fight. You do have a lot of power, but over the championship rounds, it's like driving a V8 around with your foot on the pedal every time that you leave a set of lights. And they do burn out. So Martin Fraser, probably not too worried about being here for the minute, as Vendy reverses position and lands a left hand over the top then.
Yeah, that was a really nice reversal there. Sort of grabbed the head, turned the position, and on the transition through that elbow. Great work from Darcy there.
Make sure you interact with us on Threads. Make sure you tag.
Oh, big combination landed by John Fraser there.
We'll come back to our readout thus far. The action kicking off inside.
Some Randy Couture style, dirty boxing, old school style from John Fraser there, and Darcy wore those punches well.
Big punches though, a real significant moment in this round. The first of 5, championship strap up for grabs. See one handed out tonight. Who will be the king of the middleweights? Will be the returning Martin Fraser or the challenging Darcy Vendy?
Just under 20 seconds left of round number 1. And both John Fraser and Darcy Vendy looking to make a statement before we close this one.
Can you see the influence of Ben Johnson, former Muay Thai world champion there in the clinch with these beautiful elbows from Darcy?
Absolutely. We call a close to round 1, round 2 incoming. Round 2.
Martin Fraser coming up in southpaw. Watch him to shift, but it's Vendy who catches him as he's kicking. And a good right kick to the body too from Vendy. He's looking sharp.
Lead right hook. We've seen it before. They call it the Welsh Whip. John Fraser landing flush on the usurper early on in round 2.
And Vendy will want to stay super tight to him here because he's just had his bells rung by Martin Fraser, and when he smells a kill, he goes in for it with everything. So Vendy just hanging on for dear life at the moment, chest to chest.
He's in a good spot here. He's got double underhooks for head control against the cage. John's actually linked his overhooks underneath, which is going to make it hard for Darcy to move, but these last 2 fights have featured a lot of cage control time.
Indeed they have, and again, this is taxing. You don't feel it at home, but you certainly see the battle scars worn from these guys, and fatigue may be a factor in the early stages of round 2.
Yeah, and certainly as the fight wears on, so both boys known for their hard work. Of course, Vendy, no one turns up to fight week and better nick than him, other than
yourself.
Us. Oh, look out. And here he goes, changing levels, maybe for the first time in this fight. So much cage fighting, but not a lot of level changes from Vendy. Martin Fraser's pummeled an underhook on the right side now. Short little knee to try and create space. Vendy just stuck to him like glue.
Yeah, and John Fraser there just using the crossface to re-elevate Darcy's position and get back to the standing clinch position. It was a good little crafty defense there from John, who turns Darcy and gets dominant position against the cage now.
Reversal for the former champ, and starting to see some claret come out of the nose of the usurper. Deep breaths for Vendy up against the fence.
I'd like to see Martin Fraser separate here and let his hands go. He's had good success in this round.
The issue he has is he doesn't have inside control, and he can't release himself from this position, similar to Frank, where he got stuck on the whizzer. These whizzers, once you get deep underhooks, they can attach you to your opponent and make it very hard for you to get out.
He's let go of the whizzer to throw elbow as Vendy, and returning over the top is Martin Fraser. It's short on the inside. It's dirty. It's in a phone booth from these 2 big boys.
And this is exactly where they want to be, Matt, after all that talk and back and forth over the past 6 to 9 months. You know, these guys have waited long enough to be here, and here they are. Left hand lands for Fraser. He's got to be careful. He can't get reckless here. Oh!
Comes back, Darcy, with a couple of good shots of his own, but John's smelling a little bit of blood in the water and looking to put his foot on the gas.
Indeed it is. It's the blood of the usurper, but he's a tough customer, struggling to put him away.
He's taking some damage, that's for sure, and he doesn't look to be showing any signs of getting out of there.
Level change for Vendy. Great idea, stuffed by Fraser, who continues to work on the inside.
Oh, I'm loving this dirty boxing in the pocket. It's beautiful stuff. 2 big old lumps like Godzilla's slugging it out. There were some big moments from Martin Fraser in that passage. Vendy stood up to it with the high guard. Higa goes back to the short work, chopping away with the elbows.
And here comes the usurper on the inside, keeping Fraser up against the fence. He won't go down without a fight, Matt.
Absolutely not, mate. His title means so much to both of these lads. It's their destiny, they would have you believe, and it's been personal the whole way through. And mate, there's no better way to sort out the beef than punch it on in the middle of a phone booth with 1,000 people at Southport Sharks looking on. A little bit of separation now, and a minute left to go. In comes the usurper.
Final minute of round number 2, uppercut for Fraser. And over the top now, followed by a big knee. The flurry continues from the former champ, but Vendy coming back with punches of his own, trying to tie John up. Looks like he had him hurt there for a second.
Yeah, and some damage to the left eye now of Martin Fraser. I'm seeing blood starting to leak, so one of those elbows might have caused a cut to the left eye of Martin Fraser. Doesn't look like a big one, or it could be a transfer from the nose perhaps, but a lot of damage inflicted, Ben.
If you had any doubt about the heart of Darcy Vendy, I think he's alleviated any of those concerns.
Yes, absolutely, and he's earned the respect of John Fraser. Darcy Vendy not going anywhere at this stage. In fact, he's got control, Matt.
10 seconds left to go. I wonder if he'll look to separate here and let a couple go, but he's in that. He's got his hands locked up and underneath. Really exciting round. It heated up in that one, didn't it, boys?
This is exactly what we expected from these two. Absolutely.
The best of the best, duking it out. The finale of our doubleheader weekend to see out the air for Eternal MMA, and what a weekend it's been, boys. And dessert is served. Martin Fraser slips outside the jab from a Vendy standing in southpaw, who slips back, checking the inside leg is Martin Fraser, trying to land a stiff left hand straight down the pipe. Stalker now is Martin Fraser, the Welshman. Sweat flies.
He
as
got
the two
caught
connect.
on the entry there, Matt Williams. Fraser stumbling up against the fence, and the usurper, he seemingly found his momentum momentarily, but he's on the back foot as it stands right now. An elbow and a right hand for good measure. These guys refusing to go down. Upstairs for Vendy. Fraser's hurt. Oh my goodness. What is keeping John Fraser standing?
Well, at the moment, it's John Fraser on ice. He's just holding on now. Here comes the usurper.
The usurper. He's got one hand on the middleweight belt, Peter Hickmont. Warning Fraser.
Jeez.
He can't defend himself.
Oh my goodness me.
You, Darcy Vendy, is the new eternal middleweight champion. Holy smokescreen.
That was incredible. That was absolutely incredible. I mean, the fight was going back and forth, and then Darcy landed that head kick and put John Martin Fraser on skates, and then found the finish.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Peter Hickmont has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute and 40 seconds of round number 3. Declaring your winner by knockout